Welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll be exploring the unexpected events shaking the world of Beyond the Gates. As secrets are revealed, relationships face crucial crossroads, and difficult decisions could change everything forever. Ashley offers Grace and renewed hope after a series of painful events. Anita anxiously awaits news that could determine her future, while the tense confrontation between Donnie and Bill erupts once again. Where will these events lead the characters? Let's dive into all the exciting plot points in the Beyond the Gates episode airing on June 25th right now. Okay, no, this cannot be a coincidence anymore. Look at what is happening to Ted. Look at the sheer, unadulterated psychological torture being inflicted on this man. All of his children, every single one of them hospitalized at the exact same time. Martin, Eva, caught. You do not just write a natural disaster like a massive tornado into a storyline without it being a glaring, deliberate metaphor for the total collapse of a family's foundation. The tornado tore through the Fairmont Crest Resort, sure, but it actually tore through Ted's mind. We are witnessing a complete identity collapse here. Ted is supposed to be the patriarch, the protector, the one who holds the walls up, but he is completely powerless, wandering those sterile, blinking hospital hallways. And then we get this terrifying tease about an unexpected request. An unexpected request from who? Nobody in this show says what they actually mean. Is it from one of his kids? Or is it from the doctor? Wait, why did the camera focus on that object, the clipboard in the doctor's hand in that one fleeting hospital scene? It has to be about Martin. Let's talk about Martin because my brain is actively short-circuiting over his behavior. Martin is lying. He is lying through his teeth, and it is driving me insane. He suffered a severe head injury in the tornado. He has a confirmed concussion, and preliminary scans show a blood clot, a literal bruise on his brain. Yet he keeps smiling and telling everyone he is perfectly fine. That smile looked fake, like painfully fake. Why is he constantly affirming his health? This is classic emotional warfare. He is hiding symptoms. Is he experiencing blurred vision, dizziness, memory loss? He is terrified of exposure, so he masks it with toxic bravado. But why? Is it because he doesn't want to add to Ted's burden? Or is it a twisted form of manipulation? If Martin suddenly collapses, the guilt will absolutely destroy Ted. I think episode 89 hinted at this when Martin refused help earlier this season. If the unexpected request to Ted is from the doctor, begging Ted to force Martin into comprehensive neurological testing, Ted is going to face an impossible wall. If Martin refuses treatment, is Ted just supposed to stand there and watch his son play Russian roulette with a brain bleed? The emotional tension here isn't just sadness, it is hidden warfare. Martin is holding his own life hostage to test his father's love. Hold on, I need to go back. I am getting too caught up in Martin, and I completely forgot about the absolute emotional terrorism happening in the other hospital room. Eva and Cott. Cott donating her liver to her half-sister, Eva. On the surface, everyone is crying tears of joy. Oh, what a beautiful sacrifice. Oh, what a heroic sister. Stop it. Stop right there. We need to look at the generational resentment boiling under the surface of this family tree. Is Cott's decision really about saving Eva, or is it the ultimate, irreversible act of emotional blackmail? Think about it, revenge disguised as forgiveness. If Cott gives Eva a literal piece of her own body, Eva owes her forever. Eva can never, ever win an argument against Cott again. Cott has literally embedded herself into Eva's survival. It is a masterclass in manipulation through affection. But wait, what if Cott doesn't recover? The notes say Cott is still under strict observation, while Eva has already woken up. What if Cott's health takes a sudden, terrifying nosedive? Reinterpreting that earlier scene where Cott signed the consent forms. Her hand was shaking. Was it fear? Or was it the realization that she might not wake up? If Cott's condition deteriorates, Ted is going to be forced into the most agonizing, soul-crushing choice a parent can make. Does he prioritize the daughter who just received a transplant or the daughter who sacrificed herself? If Kot dies, Eva's new life is built on a graveyard of guilt. That isn't a gift. That is a curse. The psychological intensity of this hospital wing is suffocating. I can barely breathe just thinking about the ramifications. Ted's crisis isn't just medical. It is a full-blown spiritual crisis. He is watching his legacy tear itself apart from the inside out. And while Ted is drowning in this hospital nightmare, what is Anita doing? Anita is completely distracted by golf club damages, the Fairmont Crest Resort. I completely forgot why this mattered. No, wait, that earlier scene changes this. Anita is obsessing over the tornado damage to the property because she is terrified of her own body. Buried trauma. She is fighting cancer. She has a critical meeting with Dr. Bauer. Is this the meeting to schedule the tumor removal surgery? Yes, obviously. But she is hyperfixating on broken windows and ruined landscaping at the resort because she cannot fix the broken cells inside her own body. It is a classic avoidance tactic. She is projecting her fear of mortality onto real estate. The contrast is jarring. Her children are literally bleeding and undergoing organ transplants, and she is talking about roof repairs. It feels disorganized, messy, almost sociopathic, until you realize she is emotionally exhausted. She is running from the Grim Reaper. If the news from Dr. Bauer is a setback, I don't even want to think about it. The collapse of her denial will be catastrophic. She is using the storm as a shield to avoid looking at the storm inside her own veins. Okay, let's pivot because my heart rate is way too high. We need to talk about Grayson, Ashley, and Jen. What in the world is happening here? Since Derek died, Grayson has been on the outside looking in, desperately trying to get back into Ashley's orbit. And who is opening the gate for him? Jen, Ashley's mother. Why is Jen suddenly playing matchmaker for a guy who has brought nothing but trouble since Derek's passing? This reeks of hidden family secrets. Jen is pushing her daughter toward Grayson, encouraging her not to ignore his attempts to reach out. Why? What does Jen know? Is Jen being manipulated by Grayson, or is Jen manipulating Grayson to keep Ashley under control? When Ashley finally texted him back, the tension was palpable. And now we hear that on Thursday, Ashley is going to give Grayson a glimmer of hope for the future. A glimmer of hope? What does that even mean? A reunion? Or just keeping him on the hook as a friend? Let me tell you, nobody in this show keeps an ex around just to be friends. It is always about leverage. Grayson is walking into a trap. Jen's encouragement is a red flag the size of a billboard. I suspect Jen is using Grayson's desperation to fill the void Derek left, ensuring Ashley doesn't look too closely into the circumstances surrounding Derek's death. It is all connected. The affection is a weapon. They are using his grief and his love as a leash. I need to rewatch the episodes from last month because I swear Jen gave Grayson a look that screamed, "I own you now." The psychological implications of a mother orchestrating her grieving daughter's romantic life to cover up underlying family guilt is staggering. Let me circle back to Grayson really quickly. I can't let this go. Why Thursday? Why is Thursday the day Ashley gives him hope? What is the significance of the timing? If we look at the timeline of Derek's death, there is a gap. A massive, glaring gap in the narrative. Jen knows about the gap. That is why she is texting. That is why she is pushing. Grayson thinks he is winning Ashley back, but he is actually walking into a carefully constructed alibi. Jen is building a fortress around her daughter, and Grayson is just a brick in the wall. The emotional exhaustion of watching Grayson stumble blindly into this trap is real. He thinks it is love. It isn't love. It is utility. He is being used to patch a hole in a sinking ship. But wait, I need to jump over to the Donnie and Bill situation because this is where the real conspiracy lies. The elevator-sized secret. Donnie and Bill are going to have another massive blowout argument on Thursday. They are fighting over a secret so big it could tear everything down. And who walks in while they are screaming at each other? Haley, of course, it is Haley, but let's back up. Andre just overheard Donnie and Vanessa talking about an affair scandal. An affair that Vanessa actively covered up. So we have an affair, a cover-up, a massive secret, and multiple people eavesdropping. The eavesdropping in this show is out of control. Every corner, every doorway, someone is listening. It is a culture of paranoia. If Andre knows about the affair and Vanessa is the fixer, what happens when Haley overhears Donnie and Bill? Haley is already deeply paranoid. She is terrified that Bill is going to waver and go back to Donnie. Haley's entire identity is wrapped up in possessing Bill. If she hears even a fraction of this secret, she is going to spiral into absolute madness. And the notes mention something absolutely chilling. A dangerous situation like this could cause Haley to increase her use of doses. Doses. What doses? Is she self-medicating to handle the anxiety? And hear me out, because this is where the conspiracy gets real. Is she dosing Bill? Think about it. If Haley is terrified of losing Bill to Donnie, what is the ultimate way to keep a man dependent on you? You make him weak. You dose him. Manipulation through affection, disguised as caretaking. If she increases the doses, she might accidentally push him over the edge. Or maybe she is dosing herself, numbing her own mind so she doesn't have to face the reality that her relationship is built on a foundation of lies. The generational resentment, the buried trauma, the fear of exposure, it is all culminating in this one hallway outside Donnie and Bill's room. Every conversation is a manipulation tactic. When Donnie yells at Bill, she isn't just angry, she is testing his loyalty. When Vanessa covers up an affair, she isn't protecting the family, she's hoarding ammunition for later. It is an emotional arms race. I am emotionally exhausted just piecing this together. Let's look at the grand scheme. We have Ted in the hospital facing an impossible choice about Martin's brain bleed and Cot's failing health post-transplant. We have Anita ignoring her cancer to fix a golf club. We have Jen using Grayson as a pawn to control Ashley after Derek's death. And we have Haley potentially drugging people to keep her marriage intact while Vanessa and Andre play spy games over an affair. The entire community is a powder keg of identity collapse. They are all pretending to be fine. Martin says he's fine. Anita acts like she's fine. Haley smiles like she's fine, but beneath the surface, it is a war zone. I have to go back to Martin for a second because it is bothering me, the blood clot, the bruise on the brain. Why did the tornado have to be the catalyst? Because a tornado is an act of God. It removes accountability. Martin can blame the storm for his trauma, just like Anita blames the storm for her distraction. But the internal storms, the secrets, the lies, the affairs, those are man-made. If Ted gets that unexpected request from the doctor, and the doctor says, your son is going to die if he doesn't get surgery, but he is refusing consent, Ted will have to invoke legal or psychological force. He will have to break his son to save him. That is the devastating truth we are barreling toward. And what if Cot wakes up and realizes what she has done? What if the liver transplant fails, the body rejecting the organ? It is the perfect biological metaphor for this family rejecting each other. Cot tries to assimilate into Eva's life by literally becoming part of her biology, and Eva's body might reject it. The fear of exposure isn't just about secrets. It is about exposing your literal internal organs to someone else and being told you aren't a match, you aren't good enough. The emotional blackmail of a failed transplant will destroy Ted. He will have lost both daughters in one swing of the surgical knife. The resentment will outlive them all. I don't know how much more of this I can take before the next episode airs. The tension is unbearable. Every single character is standing on the edge of a cliff, blindfolded, and they are all holding hands. If one falls, they all fall. Haley's doses, Martin's brain bleed, Anita's tumor, Cot's liver, the elevator secret. It is all crashing down. I am telling you, we are about to witness the most devastating emotional fallout in the history of this show. We have to be ready, but honestly, I don't think any of us are ready. We are just watching the wreckage unfold in slow motion.